over to finish typing. Ready. Let's get started with game number 1 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So yeah, once again, these are different pieces. Not going to be same pieces. So Nowi's starting off with a very roller stack right now. Rollers just don't know how to stack. No, but he's going to be fine. Already has a Tetris on the board. Edward, DAS player from the Dominican Republic. Why can't I say it fast? The Dominican Republic. República Dominicana. Oh, Nowi in a lot of trouble. And that's going to do it for Nowi. What just happened from Nowi? Edward takes game 1. Yeah, once again, this is different pieces. Edward already starting off with 45,000 points. 2 Tetrises on the board. No yet to score the Tetris. But yeah. Couldn't utilize that bar. Still waiting. Still waiting. Bar not showing. Good lord. There you go. Tetris for Nowi. And Edward with a dependency on the left side. Does get a nice bar. And we'll be cleaning up shortly. Yeah, Edward, a DAS player from La República Dominicana, has a PB of a max out. And in terms of qualifying, had a photo bomb. In terms of qualifying, had a qualifier of 679, 690, made it to seed 16 in the tournament. So pretty decent qualifier there from Edward. Whereas Nowi, having a PB of, I believe, 1.7, is a roller from Mexico / Japan. It still says 1.2, but he has like a 1.7. I'm pretty sure. Is a roller from Mexico. Sometimes lives in Japan, but right now I think he's in Tijuana. He's back in the motherlands. So very cool. He was like, listen, I'm about to play Gran Campeonato, so I'm gonna go straight to Tijuana just to keep it authentic. So brillante Nowi, really top notch. 195 for Nowi, 163 for Edward. So Nowi does have the lead in these 48 lines. Goes to build up his left side instead of scoring the Tetris. Was Tetris ready? So Edward's going to take a Tetris, now only behind by 10,000 points on these 18 speeds. And we'll get the bar for the Tetris. Yeah, oops, there you go. Yeah, both players still pretty clean, still good. Looking nice. We are at the 67 line mark, so halfway done through 18. And yeah, they've been pretty clean. Nowi with the better efficiency though. Edward's been burning a lot. Nowi burning up high, building up high. So just has more leeway to play aggressive. Oh, in a bit of a situation was Nowi getting bursted with square pieces. Oh lord. That is not what you want. 3, 4 square pieces he had. Spired his board. He's still alive, but this is going to give Edward the opportunity to take away this lead, potentially. But no, he's just clean now. Is at 3, now 402 out of 105 lines, but is ahead by 9 lines after that. Those really high burns. But Edward had nowhere to place those pieces. Nice J piece dependency solve. That was kind of a bit of a lucky situation. It's going really aggressive, but does get the bar in time for the Tetris. Long bar there, solve dependency square to the left. 449 for Nowi, 355 for Edward, so Edward wasn't really able to capitalize much on Nowi's dig. Nowi maintaining a 70,000 point lead, just about. Edward forced to take a couple of burners, double Lombard dependency as we near the 19 transition. Waiting for the bar. He does get the bar. Nowi is ready for the Tetris, but going for the safety burns. Edward just not getting a good set of pieces right now. Nowi transition at 502. Edward will transition with these next 3 burns. Takes 1 burn. Solves that dependency. Is going to burn with a double at 394. So Nowi with a 100,000 point advantage right now in terms of pace. Does get a triple at 535. So Edward starting off behind on the board. Is Tetris ready? Waits for the bar. Bar not showing. Is Tetris ready? Gets a bar for the Tetris at 425. Nowi burning down at 564. So Edward looking for the J piece. Gets the J piece. Oh, actually didn't get the J piece to solve the or did put the J piece in the correct place. So misdrop there from Edward. Costing more burns, which Nowi is just going to be able to take a bigger lead. With a cleaner stack and more momentum with rolling than with Das. But Nowi is Tetris ready. Gets the bar for the Tetris. 607, 441 for Edward. Nowi in a bit of a situation. Edward yet to be Tetris ready. Going to be forced to a split triple. Didn't get the right pieces, so going to have to try to transfer as well back to the right side. Nowi is clean and will be transferred to the right. Very nicely so. Edward going for a tuck. Might go for a spin. Does hit the spin. Nice adjustment there. Now needs a J. Got the J piece 1 too late. Now Lombard dependent is Edward. Needs the bar on column 3. Needs it. Needs it. Is Tetris, not Tetris ready, but needs to burn this down. Is not going to be able to get the Lombard in time. And we'll top out at 461. So we do have a tied set 1-1. But yeah, the winner of this will go up against Tebanoku in the quarterfinals. Tebanoku in the top 16 beat Huaco from Argentina. So, also Teba is the only one so far who has scored a max out in this tournament. He starts off with a misdrop. So the tournament high right now is a 1.03, around that. That's the tournament high. Nowi starting off with a very precarious board. That's going to be 1 burn. Little single there. Going to be okay, but just going to cost efficiency. And Edward with a better start. Does have the bar dependency though, so it could be a problem, but does get the bar in time as Nowi solves that J dependency. He's got to be Tetris ready. And Edward at 115, 56,000 for Nowi. So I don't think I mentioned how Nowi not only was the top seed, but ended up beating my qualifier, my mock qualifier, which I set up for an incentive, where if there was anybody who could beat that qualifier, I would add $100 into the prize pool and give an extra $25 to whoever did it after the tournament, and Nowi ended up doing it. So regardless of his outcome in the tournament, already has $25 guaranteed. And Edward actually has $15 guaranteed for being the first qualifier of the tournament. So both of these players are two players from the tournament who already have money from incentives. Yeah, and they both nod at the same time. There you go. So both of them are already rich. They really have no reason to play this tournament anymore. They already got paid. Yeah, Edward with a Lombard dependencies. Tetris ready, but needs the bar. Can't really afford a drought right now. Gets the bar. A little bit late, but at least he got it. Better late than never. But now gonna have to be in cleanup mode, which Nowi can use to his advantage, and now Edward in a lot of trouble. Doesn't get the bar to the right, and we'll top out at 222, so Nowi at 263 takes game 3. Edward, unfortunate early top out in game 2. Similar to what Nowi had in game 1. So Nowi right now with a mini comeback. La remontada, as one might call it. So far, but we're still not done with the set. Edward gets a Tetris, so does Nowi. Bit of a high board for Nowi, but he's fine. Tetris ready. Edward with a pretty messy stack is going to be a triple. Goes for the bar dependency, sets up a T-spin. Will he hit the T-spin? No, he doesn't. So we'll be in a dig while Nowi is going to take a big lead by the looks of it, unless Edward goes aggressive and sets up like a row 2. Forced to put the bar on the right. Edward just stuck in a dig. It's not gonna get out of this anytime soon. No, we already got 186. Looks like he is a bit more warmed up now after that early top out on game 1. Managing the jet lag a little bit better. Gets a nice bar for a Tetris. Does have the bar dependency. So Nowi with a 100,000 point lead does get the Tetris and a bigger lead now. And a Tetris ready is Edward, waiting for the bar. Hasn't gotten a single Tetris in like the past 30-ish lines. Being stuck in that dig. Nowi with a bit of a well, but is building this up with a clear stack. Does get a nice safety double. Edward with the Tetris, 132. But Nowi at 282. This is actually a really strong game right now for Nowi in the beginning stages. So Edward gonna try to go aggressive and not hope for an early top out, but forced to take these doubles, not really getting the pieces he needs. Now Lombard dependent. Solves that dependency. Tries to add something to the left side. He does, and very timely quick tap there from Edward, but just gonna cause more burns. Nowi with a Spire. So it might be a bit of a problem, but not really too damaging for Nowi. Edward, on the other hand, is dealing with a lengthy dig right now. Really clutch with Das, but it's lost a lot of pace now. 152 for Edward, 383 for Nowi. And a triple. We are about the 90 line mark for both players. 40 lines to go before the 19 transition. Nowi could get a 600k transition with this efficiency. Has been slowing down a little bit in the pace. I think, he doesn't really need to go aggressive. But as I say that, in a lot of trouble is Nowi. These pieces are not good. 5 taps that T-piece to the left side. Going for the flat burns. That's not going to burn anything, but a nice little single there from Nowi. Sets up an L dependency. Takes a safety double and a single, and he's going to be clean for the Tetris. That could have been a very nasty situation if Nowi did not get out of that. But he is clean now. Had a little fist bump there. Shout out to Johan. And we're just keeping it clean, not trying to go too aggressive. But hoping to score more Tetrises, just not getting the right pieces for it. Nowi also with a messy stack, but is set up for a dirty Tetris. Tetris ready as Nowi. Waiting for that bar. Bar not showing again. Getting droughted. Neither player with a clean stack. Oh, Nowi. Things are not looking good. Does get the double and a Tetris. Will burn the transition at 518, but immediately misdrops. Jet lag might be becoming a problem again for Nowi. Another misdrop. Things are not looking good. But it's still survivable. Would love a long bar. Going for the tuck. That's not burning anything. Is not getting the bar to the left side. And will top out at 528. So Edward, you have a chase down 528. Misdrop there with the L piece. Needs a bar to the left. Needs a bar. Hits the quick tap there on the left side. 525 is what you need. Bit of a misdrop there for Edward. Doesn't go for the T-spin. Long bar to the right. Might go flat. Needs him to the left. Doesn't hit the quick tap to the left. And will top out at 331. So Nowi, regardless, takes game 4. And will be at match point for the last game. Edward with a very spiry board. Uh-oh. Needs a bar. Gets the bar for the triple. It's gonna be okay. So, yeah, early top out there from Nowi in the 19 speeds, but Edward was just not able to chase it down. Had the possibility. Edward is not getting the right set of pieces, but is now clean and open. Nowi building up his stack, waiting for the bar. That does not want to show either. Does get the bar for the Tetris. 122 has a lead. Edward with a J dependency. Oh, that is nasty for Edward. Needs the bar. Gets the bar for Tetris. Now needs another one to solve this dependency. He does get the... Actually, just going to go for the Tetris this time around. Now going to solve the dependency. As Nowi in a situation, going to be burning for a while. But is actually Tetris ready on row 3. Edward in the situation again. Hoping not to early top out here, because an early top out will basically seal the set and eliminate him from the tournament. Would love an L. Does get the bar. That's going to work too. Trying not to add weight to that hole in his stack, but not getting a friendly set of pieces. Quick taps that bar to the left. gets the bar for Tetris. Fist pump there from Edward. Is behind, but it's only by 60,000 points, and taking into account that early top out from Nowi in level 19, the fact that Edward is still alive still means a lot, even with a deficit, because who knows, maybe something could happen to Nowi where just an early top out and you could chase it down. 317 for Nowi, 221 for Edward. Edward with a T-tuck. Didn't go for the little overhang single, not overhang, like a, you know what I mean. Just a different little single burn with that J piece. Oh, Edward in a lot of trouble. Gets the bar just in time for the Tetris. But now in a lot of trouble again. Has just not been getting a friendly set of pieces, and oh, this could do it for Edward, and we'll top out at 250. So Nowi takes game 5 and moves on to the quarterfinals and goes up against Debanoku in the top 8 at a later date. So GG's. I have work in an hour, so let's get this going. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Let's see, LLJ. Whatever. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. Because Elias is having trouble with the stream by the looks of it, I will just to make sure, right, in chat I will type in, score checks. Maybe that'll help. If it's just like the comms that aren't, the stream itself, maybe he can still read chat, hopefully. That being said, don't pause. Okay, I'm sure it's very inconvenient, but at the same time, it's literally in the rules. It's what I said, don't pause. But yeah, I will make sure to type in the scores throughout the game at the very least, so that Elias can have a little failsafe if the stream ends up messing up again. So right now, Limão is at 97,000. I'm a very fast typer, so it's fine. Oh man, I need to do all the intros again. Oh, that's not good. Limão with a miss drop there with the T piece. 121 for Limão, 140 for Elias. $126 and 20. There you go. There's my score check. I won't be score checking a lot anyway, so. Yeah, Elias with the lead. And Limão in a lot of trouble. And just gonna top out. So Elias takes game 1 regardless. Anyway, Elias already with 2 Tetrises on the board. Gets the 30 Tetris, 70,000 points. Limão 31,000. Now, Elias with a really, really good efficiency. It's been really consistent with the efficiency lately. Not lately, but for a while now. Being one of the best DAS players in the world. And as I said, easily the best DAS player in Latam so far. With the 1.3 PB, Limão is capable of rolling and was a tapper at a certain point. But I guess playing DAS to just, make sure he doesn't kill his hands, I guess. It's fair. You're young. Don't want to get that carpal tunnel at the ripe age of less than 18. It's fair. And what's also fair is score checking, which I should probably type in for Elias just to make sure that he can see it. 972 or 97,000 for Limão, 44 lines. 213 for Elias at 45 lines. So Elias with a very, very hefty advantage right now in these stages. And Limão in a lot of trouble right now. Might be in a very precarious situation. And that's going to do it for Limão, topping out at 106. So, Elias, you're good. Once again, 300,000, 63 lines. So they might want to try to avoid another early top out. Yeah, the winner of this will go to the top 8, which currently with our prize pool will get the top 8 $50 guaranteed. Top 16 is actually a lot less than that. Would only get about $12. But obviously, a nice little teaspoon there from Elias. Obviously, that little amount could increase with the Matcherino, as it is community funded. So if we can raise it even more, that just helps the trickle down effect. And top 16 could get paid more, but right now, top 8, a nice little chunk of change with $50. You could buy what could you buy? Like a $50 Starbucks gift card. 50. I know Elias with a bit of a misdrop, but still has the lead by about 80,000 points. 208 for Elias, 129 for Limão. You could buy an NES controller. Or you can buy a padless controller, community members have been working on a padless, like a new type of controller. And it's gonna come around like in, I don't know, 2030 at this point. Like, I highly doubt it's gonna show up anytime soon. 146 for Limão, 280 for Elias. I will say, since we're on 18 and it's time to rant for a little bit, some people are getting pissy at Vince for not allowing the padless controllers. But dude, the product isn't even available yet. Why would anybody in their right mind fucking allow a controller that doesn't even exist technically in the market? What? That's so dumb. But what's not dumb is score checks. 348 for Elias, 201 for Limão. He was in a bit of a situation, does have a spire forming, but is able to set this up. People will always be pissy for every little thing. I just think it's mainly just glazing. Like I'm a full believer of the padless controllers. Like that, I believe that they'll be like a good investment, and like they'll actually work really nicely. But like at the same time, they don't exist on the market. Like you can't buy them unless you like go to specific regionals where they might be sold, and they're very specific because it has to do with like the players, Opox and Ava. I've already updated the scores. It's 406 for Elias, 261 for Limão. Nothing's really changed. They both have a very a similar score gap still. Limão, Elias with a 150,000 point lead. Really going aggressive right now, but that's kind of what he's been known for, just knowing how to hit those quick taps very efficiently. And great DAS management, and that's why he always gets 600k transitions with DAS. Like that's why he's like one of the best DAS players in the world. But yeah, I'm a full believer of padless, but like why would anybody in the right mind allow a controller in CTWC when it doesn't even exist on the market? Like it literally makes no sense. Elias really committing to this aggression. Someone could appear with a prototype. Yeah, but why would prototypes be allowed though? Like it's not. The whole thing about padless is that they're advertised as, you know, a more consistent way of playing. Like not as much double flips, not as many. You know, it's easier to manage than it is with pads, because with pads they wear out. They right now Elias is gonna transition at 559. Eventually pads wear out, you know, within time and usage they wear out. Dirty touch for Elias, 586. Limão transitions at 414, so Elias with a 107,000 point lead. So they wear out over time. They like aren't usable if you use them too much, but that's kind of what padless is. They help. They're longer, apparently longer lasting, and they don't wear out as often. But like, that's just, you can't buy them. Only a few select people have them in the possession. Limão's going to top out at 441. Elias at game 3. We'll take the third heart. 1 Tetris. Yeah, some people do have padless, but they aren't. They got them from connections. Or they went to, I believe it was the Boston tournament when they were specifically sold. Because you can't, they don't sell them online yet. Like they aren't readily available for customers. So essentially it's a very small group of people that either have the controller within connections, or they just appeared in a specific regional that Ava and Opox were in, and so they have access to those controllers. And that's not, why would that be allowed in CCWC for this year? Now if it was readily available for next year, obviously I would be a huge proponent of for them to be allowed, because that just saves people money, you know, if they are as advertised. Right now Elias with the first Tetris, 33,000 points, 92,000 for Limão. So Limão with a slight lead so far, but Elias with a nice set of Tetrises will be about 15,000 points. Like you're essentially gatekeeping a controller right now. And why would a tournament organizer allow that? Anyway, 102 for Elias at 30 lines, 146 for Limão. And a nice little set of burns and a Tetris for Elias, 131. 194 for Limão. If they really are a game changer, the situation could be similar to steel bolts and sticks for N64 controllers. I'm actually not even familiar with that, but I mean, if the situation is that like the problem isn't that they're better, it's that they're not even, nobody can buy them yet, then yeah, I would agree with that. Because that's my issue. I don't really, I would love to buy one and use it for CHWC, but nobody can, other than a few people. Elias at 202, Limão 243. So Limão with a slight lead. It's actually his best scoring game so far in terms of pace. He did get a 400,000 earlier on, but like it was on a 19 start. But this is a pretty good game so far. It does have a bit of burns he has to deal with, which is going to give Elias the opportunity to catch back up. And he will with the Tetris. So now both players with the same pace. 293 for Elias, 295 for Limão. If you gatekeeper confectioners that can only scratch the demand, thus create these problems you hinted at. Oh yeah. Oh, perfect. Clear for Limão. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was really nice. No, but yeah, that's yeah, if that happened in Smash, I can see why people would be upset with that little misdrop for Elias. I don't know. I personally think it's a no-brainer. Maybe some people feel differently, but like, you know, I think at the very least, people should be able to buy the controllers that would be allowed in CTWC or in any esport, really. $419 for Elias has the lead. $403 for Limão at 104 lines. So both players have been really efficient so far. Funnily enough, this is like Elias's worst pace, but it's still really good pace for, especially with DAS and especially with on a Latam tournament. Like, he was consistently 600k potential for all three games. It was just that, and also the false game one. It's really just early top outs that he didn't get to that transition point. But 497 for Limão, 489 for Elias. And Elias will get another Tetris at 512, so has a half max out, can get one more before the 19 transition. And Elias gonna go for the Lombard dependency solve first, and then bangs on a Tetris at 538. 524 for Limão, has a slight disadvantage. Behind Ballas and a Tetris, Elias will be the first one to score Tetris on the 19 speeds as Limão's Tetris ready gets the bar for the Tetris, and Elias with another one. So we are back and forth right now. 588 for Elias, 552 for Limão on these 19 speeds. Oh, but Limão in a lot of troubles. Could be fatal. Does not hit the quick tap and will top out at 554. So Elias will take the sweep and move on to the top 8 and has confirmed $50 into his prize pool. But Limão still great showing. Made it from round 1 of the preliminary to the top 16, and it's our lowest seed to make it the top 16, which is really impressive. I assume he is. If he's not, I'll fix it later. But you got it ready from both players. Let's get started with game number 1 of this best of 7 matchup in 3, 2, 1. And a Tetris. Oh, look at that. Mendion is stencil ready without me needing to do anything. Now that is just coded behavior. got Mendion, a DAS player from Argentina, has a PB of about a max out. Does have I think he has 2 or 3 max outs in his arsenal, but qualified with a... I should take a look at the qualifiers, honestly, before I start speaking. Had a qualifier of about 711, very nice score there. Average of 3 for the tournament, making it into the seed 14. Right now, bangs on a Tetris at 54,000, 19 lines for Mendion. So you had to go through the preliminary rounds to make it into the top 16, whereas Oscar, with a 1.5, I believe, PB, is a roller tapper DAS from Mexico, but lives in California, I think. So a bit of a dox there, sorry. Qualified in the 3rd seed with a 1.16, so was able to skip the preliminary rounds and qualify directly into the top 16, as he's at 126, 36 lines. Mendion 104 at 33 lines. This is Oscar's first match of this tournament, so both players already confirmed into the prize pool after we got this match arena up to $2,000, which was the goal to pay out the top 16. But if you guys are wondering how much the top 16 is getting paid, it's not that much. I think it's like $13 so far. $13 American. But whoever wins this match makes the top 8 and brings up their prize pool earnings to about $50-ish, $55, $50. So, you know, that's a pretty big increase there for the top 8. Oscar with Tetris, setting up a bit of an offset center wall. 204 now, 226 with another Tetris from Oscar, 186 from Mendion. So pretty, not a too big of a deficit for Mendion right now. Just about 40,000 points, about 2 Tetrises. Also behind in the line count, does get a Tetris on his board. 210 now at 66 lines, 249 for Oscar. So this is a confirmed 39,000 point lead for Oscar. It's a decent little start here from both players. Oscar in a bit of a situation right now. Does get the left wall Tetris, but now has to burn. Which, oh, look at that. Ese Zeta from Mendion. Oh, that is just on brand. That is beautiful. Nostalgic. Classic. Latam moment. But does bang down a Tetris. 283 for Mendion. Now 286 at 87 lines. Oscar at 331. So is still cleaning us out a little bit, but has maintained this lead. Mendion with a cleaner board. Is Tetris ready? Waiting for this next bar. Not going for too many burns, and does bang down a Tetris. Now 310 and another Tetris, actually bringing this lead down so that we are virtually tied. Mendion at 333, 341 for Oscar at 99 lines. So Mendion kind of has brought this back. Takes the lead with that Tetris, but Oscar takes it right back at 364, nearing the 19 transition at 130 lines, which is when the speeds will increase by double. And this would be theoretically where Oscar has the advantage, as he is a roller. Mendion being a DAS player, gonna be a more difficult time to maneuver the pieces with the 19 speeds looming. Is Tetris ready though? Potential for 500k transition. Same with Oscar, but Oscar's taking a bunch of burns right now, which is gonna cost a bit of pace. Mendion had nowhere to place that square piece. to cover up as well. It does get another bar for the Tetris at 428 to 118 lines. Tetris ready again is Mendion. And does get another Tetris at 451. Can set up 2 more Tetrises before the 19 speeds. Gets another Tetris. Would be slightly off of a 500k transition for Mendion. Oscar transition at 487. So Mendion could get the better transition if he scores his next Tetris. Doesn't go for the safety triple. Isn't going too aggressive, but does get the bar for the Tetris at 500,000 transition for Mendion. 514 for Oscar. Did score a Tetris already. Mendion having to bring this board down, was getting some awkward bar timing. Oscar with another Tetris is gonna take the lead. Mendion with a bit of a hang, but does bang down a Tetris to bring this board down. So now he can bring something to the left side. He's setting up dirty. He's setting up dirty. He's committing to it. Gets the double. Needs a bar. Bar's not showing. Quick taps that Z piece, but the bar's not showing. And gets the bar before the Tetris at 570. Clutch quick taps for Mendion, but now has a lot of digging he has to deal with. As that is going to do it for Mendion, topping at a 570. 604 for Oscar. Already takes game 1. Some very nice 18 speeds. Wow, beautiful. No, yeah, there's a lot of Tetris happening right now from other tournaments. There's a monthly Tetris DAS thing happening, and then CCWC's having their, I think, Toronto, Canada match. That's gonna be fun. 700,000 points for Oscar, 70,000 for Mendion, who is in a bit of a pickle. Oh wow, some weird little placement there from Mendion. Just gonna top out at 72,000. Oscar takes game due right now. Yeah, I really hope this Maturino situation gets fixed, because that's a bit of a problem. You know, apparently some people have been getting banned if they use PayPal to donate for supposed PayPal fraud, even though it's not PayPal fraud. Oh, right, I still have the co-commentary by Old Force. He's not co-commentating. This is false advertisement. But yeah, that's gonna be a problem, not just for them, but also for me, because if I want people to donate to the match arena, I need them to not be banned. Hopefully Blue Scooty didn't get banned when he donated $50 to the match arena. PayPal did ban me. That was my fault. Why was it your fault, Lucas? 96,000 from Oscar, 119 for Mendion. Did it have anything to do with this tournament, or did you just get banned for other reasons? 143. Actually, both are exactly tied. That's kind of funny. Oh, I opened one a long time ago that had my mom's info. Damn. What was it? Damn. From Oscar. Okay. What does this fool think he is? Blue Scooty or a dog? typing in the middle of a match. Oh damn! I used my credit card and they banned me. Oh, that makes sense. 218 from Mendion, 183 now, 205 from Oscar. No, that'd be so funny though, right? Because like people, oh, there's a $50 contribution into the prize pool by, I think I know who it is, Kathy Simmons on a new account, saying, I'm unstoppable. Hashtag Pickle Rickle fan and his burgers. I do love my burgers and my chicken sandwiches. Very, very, very good, very good. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy about to get banned. No, she already got banned on her one account. Like, she already got banned, but she's using an alt account to contribute to the prize pool. Oscar typing, thank you. Bro typing as if he's not 100,000 points behind right now. 217 for Oscar, 333 for Mendion. A birdie told me she got banned 2 times. That's crazy. Don't want to be that guy, but passe. You know, Pace is a manufacturing process, is a manufacturing company for processed salsa. Online facts there. 367 for Mendion, 253 for Oscar. Mendion with a little double there with a T. Yeah, it looks like Kathy got banned twice again now. Which is a little concerning because I feel like with enough bans, maybe your IP gets banned after a certain point. But like, she's not doing anything wrong. It's just contribute to the prize pool. It's just the stupid Matcherino just sucks. It's ass. Something's going on and they're not fixing it because it's been about a week at this point where these issues have been happening. Manny with a couple of quick taps here. Needs to survive the situation. And looks like it might not happen. He's going to top out at 403. So Oscar 403 is the score to beat. Get to 404. 404,000. And you'll be good. Welcome on in, Edward and Ravalo. I try to clean that up. Pieces not help. That's unfortunate. It was a pretty good pace too. But Oscar takes game 3. Regarding your car's extending warranty. What? Classic Tetris bot. How dare you? Interrupt the countdown like that. Mr. Classic Tetris bot. This is very toxic. But yeah, the Matcherino. Yeah, that's a big issue. I'm actually not even that worried about my own tournament because we've already reached the prize pool to where I wanted it to be. Anything more is just a bonus, but like tomorrow I'm streaming Classic Tetris League, and funnily enough, their prize pool is lower than ours. They only have $400 for the prize pool. What's my favorite food peak? Don't act like you didn't type out like most of that message before the match even started, before the game even started. My favorite food, you know, lately, because it changes, but lately I've been really obsessed with gyozas. I don't know why. I used to say tacos de birria were my favorite, and I think they still are, but like right now Right now, my favorite is kind of changing. He types like 2 characters and the whole phrase comes out of it. 142 for Mendion and 129 for Oscar. Yeah, gyozas are so fucking good. But I think my overall favorite would be tacos de birria. I think that's like my long-term favorite. I'm just right now obsessed with gyozas. Mendion with a bit of a burn right now, 151. 154 for Oscar. So Oscar with a bit of a lead. Mendion gets the Tetris. Tacos are good. Yeah, okay, well, I didn't say just tacos. I specified what kind of taco it was. ¿Qué es gyoza? It's like an Asian thing. Yeah, it's basically just like a dumpling, but shaped differently. 204 for Oscar, 179 for Mendion. Oh, both players are exactly tied, but not in the line count. Oscar is behind in lines by... is at 58 lines. Oscar... Mendion getting bursted with S pieces. Spires is bored. Yeah, gyozas. Highly recommend them. Oh, Mendion is just gonna get bursted again. Tops out 212. Oscar takes game 4 and the sweep. And that is it. That is gonna do it. But yeah, it's gonna be a big issue for CTL. Come on, man. SC verse. Yep. But it's gonna be an issue for CTL because they only have $400 in their prize pool, and we're in the finals tomorrow, and we need to get it to $1,000, and we can't get any money if everybody's banned. So like,